Welcome to a special and deeply stirring edition of Whispers of Turkish Stars, the corner where emotions are handled with care and storytelling is crafted like art. Today we enter a tale that slipped past sets and scripts and found its voice in a place where time slows down: poetry. What has unfolded between Özge Yagay and Gökberk Demirci isn't just gossip. It feels like a confession written between breaths, an exchange of silent vows that has stopped fans across Turkey and far beyond in their tracks. Prepare yourselves, dear Whispers of Turkish Stars family, because we will walk through a poem that set the internet alight in the quiet gestures that imply their fire never truly went out. This is about the force of written words and the gravity of shared quiet. Before we step into this maze of verses and longing, we invite you warmly, if you value sensitive, respectful, soul-deep analysis, subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notifications so the pulse of your favorite stars never leaves your screen. And if you want to become a pillar of our work accessing exclusive extras, behind-the-scenes insights, and whispers others won't dare to voice, tap the join button now. Your support keeps these tender investigations alive. Now hush, because the Heartsink is about to speak at Whispers of Turkish Stars. It began the way inner revolutions always begin, in private shadows. Özge Yagay, whose poise has always been her shield, chose, in a moment of raw vulnerability, to share a small window into her secret world. A photo, handwritten diary lines, not tagged, not explained, appeared and vanished within an hour. It didn't need much time. The line was short and devastating, a sentence like a pulse caught mid-beat. At times the heart won't shout, it leans close and murmurs, and what it says is your name. The post was gone, but in an age where minutes last forever, an hour was an eternity. It was long enough for fans of the couple and watchers here at Whispers of Turkish Stars to capture Özge's trembling heartbeat. Whose name did the whisper carry? The collective answer rose like a tide: Gökberk Demirci. That flicker of fragility, that image of paper and ink, became the spark for a storm of speculation that soon revealed something deeper. The real shock arrived when the full poem quietly surfaced. What seemed like a fleeting thought turned out to be a carefully stitched piece, a devotion that time had not worn thin. Sources who know the actress confided that the verses were born in a season of profound closeness between her and Gökberk. Listen to the cadence of these lines as we read with the reverence they deserve. I don't call to hear your answer, but to find you where silence keeps you. I don't seek you as if you've gone, but because you were never truly absent. There are names my lips avoid while my soul writes them again and again. And when my eyelids fall, the pen in my chest traces yours. Let's pause here, family. Consider the duality: I don't seek you as if you've gone, but because you were never truly absent. That is not a farewell, it is the anatomy of a bond that refuses to be dismantled by distance. It confesses that, even if public paths forked, the emotional thread remains anchored at Özge's core. The refrain about the heart as a pen speaks of a wound that writes instead of bleeding, and with that beauty only true love wounds can produce. Is it possible to write like that for someone whose spirit no longer lives inside your days? Is poetry the most honest way to confess that a chapter didn't really close, it just changed its light? We want to hear you in the comments. Tell us your theories, even your own lines. If this layered, heartfelt reading resonates, show your love with a like. And if you want us to keep tracing these delicate maps of the heart, the join button is your backstage pass to the truth we chase. Now for the echo. Gökberk, long admired for his grace and quiet introspection, did not choose loud answers. But he did leave a carefully placed breadcrumb. He posted a story. An old notebook, a fountain pen with a worn nib, and a simple caption that seemed to speak straight to Özge's page. Certain sentences never lose their echo. It wasn't a stamp of confirmation, it was a handshake across a bridge only they recognize. And then came a gesture you could miss if you don't know him. He was spotted leaving an artisan bookbinder's shop, a craft-wrapped parcel in hand, a dried rose tied to the string. To us at Whispers of Turkish Stars, that was more than a purchase. It was a reply in his favorite language, symbols. Gökberk has always preferred objects with memory over chatter. Was he binding a book? Those verses? Was it a keepsake meant for the woman who writes his name in the hush? When asked, he didn't feed the noise. He offered a single sentence with his familiar, elegant restraint: when words grow from the soul, they don't need footnotes. In that moment he shut the door on idle curiosity and opened a window to interpretation. The geography of their story matters too. Reportedly, both were seen as separately, but with an unsettling synchronicity, at the same park in Istanbul that once sheltered them. They didn't cross near cameras, didn't stage a reunion. But returning to the same benches, the same canopy of leaves, has meaning. And that meaning deepened with another scene, a modest cafe drenched in memories. The owner told us how Gökberk took his old table, ordered what he always ordered, and stared out the window for an hour. No phone. No companion. Just a man quietly occupying the space where we once existed. If nostalgia had a picture, that would be it. Meanwhile, a source close to Özge confided that, when she read the poem aloud to a friend, the emotion came like a tide she couldn't hold back. Her hands trembled. Her breathing stuttered. It wasn't merely writing. It was a release, a silent scream sent to its rightful destination. And we, dear family, find ourselves at a turning point. If you feel the value of narratives told with care and depth, consider becoming a member. Being part of Whispers of Turkish Stars means backing a brand of storytelling that resists easy headlines and chooses the long road to truth. The final movement of this exchange plays in music and moving images. Özge shared a playlist titled Writing from the Heart, and in it, the song Volver found a place of honor. Its lyrics, about wandering without leaving and living inside another's silence, mirrored her page with uncanny fidelity. Hours later, Gökberk uploaded a video stripped of color and pretense, the tip of a pen gliding over paper, the surface slightly darkened as if a tear had fallen and dried. The closing words arrived like a benediction. What begins in the soul will always find its path. Was this a private code playing out in a public arena we are lucky enough to witness? Are they telling each other what they cannot say aloud, trusting art to carry what speech would break? We suspect so. Perhaps they've judged the outer world too loud for delicate negotiations and chosen the universal tongues of ink and melody. This is now beyond labels, neither together nor apart suffices. Because, as one follower's comment that went viral beautifully put it, they have become living poetry. They are bound in every line, every chord, and every tear that softens paper. And yet, we all know love isn't geometry, it's weather. It returns with new seasons, breaks open old soil, and asks the same hearts if they can grow again. Özge and Gökberk have reminded us that real love isn't a straight road. It's a circle that brings you back to the beginning, heavier with experience, sometimes heavier with ache. Here at Whispers of Turkish Stars, we will keep watching every post, every pause, every shadow that hints at a truth beneath the surface. Might this poem be the bridge to a new, public chapter? Or is it the tender way they've chosen to keep loving at a safe distance, guarded by the soft veil of literature? Only time will render its verdict. What is certain is that their story feels inscribed in ink that does not wash away. Before we leave this tender ground, let's return to the poem's heartbeat and the reverberations it set loose. The cadence of Özge's confession doesn't attack, it lingers. She doesn't accuse time for passing, she thanks it for revealing what stayed. That is the mark of a bond that never calcified into resentment. And listen to how Gökberk answered without speaking her name. In a world addicted to proof and declarations, he chose patience and symbols, an old pen, a bookbinder's twine, a single rose carrying the memory of color in its dried petals. He didn't argue, didn't perform. He remembered. That is not denial, it is continuity. Think of the park scenes like coordinates on a map only they can read. Two people revisiting the same refuge without bumping into each other under the lenses, its restraint laced with yearning. A shared geography can be louder than any headline. And the cafe moment? A portrait of a man trying on the past like a coat to see if it still fits. He didn't linger to be noticed, he lingered to feel. In a culture where even silence becomes content, he guarded his hour as if it were sacred. To those who wonder if a message can travel from one heart to another without an address, we offer this: art has always been the courier of secrets. The playlist wasn't random. Volver doesn't just mean to return, it means to recognize the path by the touch of your own footsteps. Pair that with a video of ink and water, and you have an answer that refuses spectacle but embraces truth. They are communicating through choices, tastes, colors drained to black and white so the feeling can stand up without makeup. And you, our beloved community, were instrumental in catching these ripples. You screen capped, translated the size of a caption, connected dots, and filled the gaps with empathy rather than noise. That is why we do what we do. If this journey moved you, if it nudged you to think about your own unsent letters and unslept nights, press like, share this with other fans who understand tenderness, and subscribe. Join us, if you can, by becoming a member. You keep the lamp burning in this little house of stories. As we close this chapter, not the story, only this episode. Let's honor the people in it. Uzge, brave enough to expose the corner of a page that still smells like yesterday. Gökberk, brave enough to answer with stillness, humility, and a faith that what is true doesn't need a microphone to be heard. Perhaps they will meet again under those trees. Perhaps they already did, out of sight, to say the most important things in the simplest way. Perhaps the book wrapped in craft paper now rests on a shelf where the morning sun touches it first. We don't know yet. We only know how it feels to witness two souls speak in a language older than fame. We will remain here, attentive to every gentle change in the wind. If a new verse appears, we'll read it together. If a song is added, we'll listen with you. If a shadow crosses that familiar cafe window, we'll tell you what we saw and what we believe it means, with the care you trust us to keep. Until then, carry this with you: some stories do not end, they learn to breathe differently. And what begins as a whisper can one day become a promise spoken aloud. Thank you for sharing this intimate path with us. If this video made you reflect on your own loves and silences, don't forget to like, to pass it along to others who cherish them, and to subscribe. And once more, please consider joining our members' circle by tapping join. Your presence is what keeps the whispers of Turkish stars flame alive. We'll see you in the next exclusive. Always here, where truth is tender, and its name is written in ink that refuses to fade.